Hey everyone, it is Saturday afternoon, and I just had to share what's been going on and some thoughts. You can't see my shirt. My shirt, it's one of my favorites. It's a shirt. It says, "I'm sorry. Did I roll my eyes out loud?" Every time I wear it, somebody comments. I was like, "Oh, my daughter needs that shirt, or my husband needs that shirt, whatever." Anyway, it's Saturday afternoon. I I don't know where to start. I was supposed to take my mom and her best friend Joe out for a whole day of fun. I had this whole day planned, and they called me early this morning. And Joe got delayed, and they were going to change plans. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I'm fixing to go get them and take them for a late lunch, and then I'm gonna take them go shopping. But what it did is it allowed me to go then to the theater, to Melon Patch. Hopefully you've seen on Facebook, I've shared and been asking for volunteers. Dustin, our executive director for the theater, has been asking different people. Every season, but kind of at the end of the season, before the next season begins, you got to clean stuff out. Theaters, things pile up and pile up, and you got to clean out and you got to purge. Every couple years you need to do a deep purge and just throw away, and that's what we were needing volunteers for. So I said, and remember, I'm directing a play right now that opens August 12th, and they need to finish the set, and I needed to look at some things in that shed that I couldn't see for the set. So I'm like, okay, that's fine, Mom, it's working out great. I'll go to the theater. And I was nervous going because we've been needing help and we needed hands. And I pull up and there's all kinds of people there. Yes, we could have used more, absolutely, but there were a lot of people there. Thank you very much. One of our stage manager for our show, Stacy Urban, who this I am so thankful to meet you, Stacy. And you are such an amazing stage manager. I'm so excited about this, and we're going to work together more. And several of our cast members are there helping, and Stacy and her husband, and different people. Tom Klein was there helping. Thank you, and different people. And Melody Duckins was there, and Melody has done a couple of shows at Melon Patch recently. She's not in this one, but she was there just volunteering, just an actor. Saw that we needed help and shows up. And we haven't really met, Melody and I. We know of each other, and we've never really talked. And so it was really exciting. And I'm like wanting to talk to her, but we're working. So I want to tell you about something that happened because this has been a tough time for me. And even just as recently as yesterday and this last week has been like a week of disappointment and a week of discouragement, and some things I really, really, I spend a lot of time on, and some things that I really dreamed of, and several, not just one, several really big things that were going to be big for me, and were big to me, and that I've wanted and that I worked and dreamed of, are not going to happen, at least not now. And that's very discouraging. And when you're somebody that is already really struggling with depression, and yes, I've talked about it before, I'm going to keep talking about it because we do not talk about mental health enough in our country. And we are not patient enough with people who struggle with mental health and struggle with depression and struggle with bipolar or different afflictions that they have. And we're not patient and tolerant enough, and we don't talk about it enough. So I'm going to keep talking about it. And for me, where I'm at, and it's been a tough last month and a half, I'll be honest with you. My last trip to New York was not a good trip, and it was hard. And it's tough right now for me. Um, and the several things that have happened and the disappointments that have happened this last week, I could easily get depressed. I could easily, and I'm battling some of that, but I could easily really get bad. And some things happened. Last night we had rehearsal for our play, and it's a large play. It's a non-musical, and there's 13. That's a big cast for a non-musical. And most of them are family members in this play. And so there's times I have 9, 10, 11 people on the stage all at the same time in these big group scenes. that takes a lot of work. And so last night was a night for us to really take those scenes and finally set them and choreograph them and stage them and block them. And it's a hard thing to do and it's challenging, but it was working and it was creative and it was exciting and it was great and the cast was in it. In fact, I had to be director boss some and say, be quiet and stop and focus. And it wasn't that they weren't in what we were doing. It's just they were so excited about what we were doing that then you naturally want to talk. And it was a really creative night and a really good night. And then I go to the theater today and there's all these people and we're getting stuff done. And Melody's talking to me and Melody's got all these ideas and she's a very talented woman. And we're talking and this one time we're carrying stuff into the theater and she's talking. And she's telling me about this idea she has for an original piece. And I hear the idea and I immediately, dismiss it in my head. So I'm halfway listening. I'm honest. I told her this, by the way. And I'm halfway listening. And then she says something about what she wants to do in this piece to go somewhere. And my ears perked up and I went, oh, wait a minute. That's different. That's unique. And she's telling me and sharing with me the idea. And then we get inside and start talking about it a little bit more. And she's like, I think maybe you'd be the person to kind of help. And I'm like, girl, let's do it. So we're going to get together here at the house. My house is kind of I think it's a real creative space. It's a lot of art, a lot of playbills, a lot of theater stuff. It's just a creative, and it's small, it's intimate. And I think of it as a creative space. It is for me. So we're going to get here, we're going to talk. And so that's exciting. So I'm leaving the theater because I am taking the ladies to a late lunch or early dinner. And I'm thinking, and I thank God that I had this moment of appreciation that I've been given these gifts. Last night, this great rehearsal with great cast members. This cast is working so hard. The theater where things are starting to really come together with our play. This opportunity with Melody where we're going to talk and get creative. And I'm just so blessed and thankful. And it got me thinking more about what the theater and art means to me and to many people. And why it's so important. This is why theater is so important. God, am I ever going to do a video that I don't cry? But it is. I could be really low and depressed right now. And I'm inspired and I'm excited. And I'm thinking about the opportunities that we have for theater all around here. I'm excited. The studio, the Sharon, the studio, Tierra del Sol at the Sharon is doing their summer song cycle. It opens mid-August. I can't remember the name of it. Life is in the title. Sorry, Whitney. My friend Whitney Morris they and Jason Getkin they do that, and they have this great season that's then starting in the fall. I remember this. Their season is called "I Am What I Am," and I love that. And they're doing a great play, the Vibrator in the next room, or the Vibrator play, and they're doing La Cage aux Folles, and I'm so excited. And that's right here. Next Saturday, I'm going to Theater West End in Sanford. You guys, if you haven't been there, go. They do amazing, amazing work, and it's not that far. People go, oh my God, you got to drive to Sanford. It's not Miami, folks, okay? Seriously, get in the car, go over there. It's a great downtown. There's some great restaurants, but their theater is so good and so unique, and it's a unique space. And what they do, they're doing Memphis that I'm going next Saturday night to see. And then later in the fall, they've got A Chorus Line, and they've got Rent, and something else. They've got great shows they're doing. But right now, this weekend, Ice House Theater is opening Singing in the Rain. Right now, a lot of you have seen the movie, you should have, and it was a fun movie, but the show live in front of you, it's different, and it's great. It's a really cool show. Go see Ice House. They do some amazing stuff. And Eustace, Bay Street Players, I think it's the holdover weekend for Rocky Horror Picture Show. Not my thing. I'm not a fan of Rocky Horror, of that. That's me. Their production is really good, and they've got great actors in it, and it's fun, and it's fluff. Go see it. It's their closing weekend. Our show opens August 12th. We have a great season at Melon Patch. They're doing SpongeBob the musical at Melon Patch. That's what they're doing. It's a great, we've got all this theater going on. and all that. And so I'm excited. And that my point of the video is that's what theater and art does. Is it motivates you, and it can encourage you, and it can rescue you, and it can save you. And not just for somebody like me who wants to be on stage and direct and do all that, but even for the attendees, for to watch theater, go and see good theater. It should inspire you, and it should help you escape from the world, and it should move you and make you think about things. And go. It requires you being there. Um, and you can try it and you can say, hey, I'm not a theater person. That wasn't for me. Okay, then go see another show. Go try the Garden Theater in Winter Garden. They've got a great theater and they do great shows. Go see some of the stuff at the Dr. Phillips Theater. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities. Just go try it and try it several times, and you'll find something that inspires you and that moves you and that you'll like. And I guess that's the message of today's video. I don't know. I just had stuff I wanted to share. And it's been a while since I've done a theater talk with Scott. And so here it is. Go experience some theater, get out there, and enjoy life. All right. Ciao. See you at the theater.